And boop, we are live. All right. We're live. We're back with Palm of the Fist. It's been 2 weeks.
Yay.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We've just been fucking...
Give it up for 2 weeks.
Give it up for 2 weeks, everybody. First of all, everyone, mask up, glove up, keep yourselves safe, keep yourselves healthy. Fucking everyone's getting sick. It's either flu A, it's COVID, it's norovirus, it's bird flu if you live in the Midwest, it's tuberculosis if you live in Kansas. So make sure to stay safe.
Winter is here.
Winter is here. A plague is rocking through households. Anything anyone wants to get into before we jump right in?
What do we think Punxsutawney Phil's gonna see a shadow, yes or no?
Yeah, good question.
I think he
More
is.
importantly, how many bones does he have? I still don't know.
If Darby
Drew,
can
did you
just get
get
her
an answer?
hands on him.
Drew, did you get an answer about groundhogs and their bones?
I did not. No, I never got any response.
Oh, I meant to ask. With my sisters, I came up with a scheme of
I love
sorts.
schemes.
That this seems like the kind of stupid, inane science question that Hank Green would find an answer for. Can I make a tiki-talkie for the rulebook optional TikTok?
Yes.
Because
Hell
I
yeah.
don't post on mine.
Yes, please.
They've also, both of them have been super active on Blue Sky. If you also are on that app,
Okay.
it's like the new twit. It's like
How is it?
it's better than X. So
That's true.
This is true.
That's true. It's not a very high bar.
It doesn't
It's
have
just-
the Nazi
it's-
problem.
it's
Yeah.
just Twitter. Like,
Don't you need to get like an invitation to it?
For Blue Sky?
no.
I kept seeing people posting first, like, you can use my link to sign up, like blah 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 blah.
Huh?
No.
Well,
I
Maybe
don't think
is
so.
that Threads?
No,
Maybe.
Threads is through Meta.
Oh.
But I think that's
Fuck
been out
that.
for a while now. Anyway.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Hank Green has to have
yes.
bone people.
Yes. Hank Green definitely
knows
has bone
bone.
people.
I got a
He
bone
knows
guy.
bone people. I got a
I
bone
know
guy.
bone people.
I got a bone guy.
A bone guy.
I know a guy. He knows all about bones.
He knows all
What
about-
is crazy about wanting your bones?
Hi, Jason.
Jason.
You killed me, Jason.
Jason.
You did what,
So,
Jason?
our to-do list. We're gonna play D&D. Kate,
Yes.
Darby is going to draft a TikTok, not now, but later, but for the rulebook optional TikTok to get answer about groundhog bones. I think the motherfucker is gonna see his shadow personally.
What,
Right.
I forget what means. If he sees a shadow,
It's
more
more
winter.
more winter.
It's in winter.
Oh,
does it,
yeah.
okay.
Spring.
I think so too.
This
It's
is
like the
gonna be
opposite.
year.
It's weird.
Yeah, you would think.
I
This
think
is Phil's year.
I think this is gonna be the year that he doesn't see his shadow. I think it's.
I'll
gonna be
tack
the
on to
year.
that just because I hope.
I think most years he sees his shadow. Or whatever the
Yeah.
springtime one is.
I think it's it's the not see his shadow. I think
Hold
it's happened
on,
more.
punks.
Yeah.
There's
No,
yeah.
if he sees his shadow, then it's more.
Jason, what's Phil gonna see? Is he gonna see his shadow?
This
or
is
is he not
what's he
see
gonna
his
does
shadow?
not
see?
I was
Live,
gonna
Put
if
it in the
Jason does not
chat.
live
Hey,
in
Jason, what's-
Pennsylvania, he will have no idea what the fuck we're talking
Hey,
about.
Okay.
Jason, what's Phil gonna see?
What's Phil gonna see?
Not your
Punxsutawney Phil,
coworker
you know?
Phil, the groundhog Phil.
Or any Phil. If you have a Phil in your life, what's Phil gonna see?
Jason hits back and is like,
We all have a
Phil
Phil
is
in
going
our
to see a divorce lawyer soon.
Okay, so according to the tradition, if Phil sees his shadow and turns to his hole, he is predicted 6 more weeks of winter-like weather.
Ah.
If Phil does not see his shadow, he's predicted an early spring.
That
What
feels
is-
backwards.
What does
It
see?
does.
What does see his?
Too much pressure.
What does seeing his shadow mean exactly? Like in
Well,
interact?
like he sees his shadow and he gets scared and he runs back into his hidey hole.
He's been doing this for fucking 15 years and he's still scared of it.
Not 15. He's been doing
It's
this
been
since
more-
1886.
Yeah. So
He's
I just looked up
200 years old.
Looks
Phil is
her.
crazy. So Phil has predicted more than 107 times that it was going to be more winter, and he's only predicted 20 times that it's going to be an early spring.
Yeah.
So statistically, I love gambling, guys. I'm putting money on it.
Well, because what's the weather supposed to be like on Groundhog Day? Because if it's gonna be if it's gonna be sunny, then he's gonna see his
I
shadow.
haven't seen the movie. Fuck.
No, you can't look it up ahead of time. That ruins the spirit.
I just
trying
want to know
to make a
what
guess.
day it's gonna
I
be.
got money. I got 20 grand on this one.
If Phil sees his shadow, he gets to
I
live
put my
another year.
401k in there.
Oh, it's this Sunday
Bill's
at
200
Gobbler's
years
Knob.
Yeah.
Hey,
Pennsylvania.
Population me.
I
He's doing
remember
what on his
vividly
knob?
I remember vividly in college, me and my other friend who's from Pennsylvania explaining to our one friend who is from California what Groundhog Day was.
Oh, Kaylin, yeah,
And we had to
okay.
pull up a video of like all the men in suits, and she was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
It's very official.
yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. Wow.
I'm looking up
exactly
how
right.
accurate he's
Okay.
been. Puxatawny Phil was right just over 30% of the time in the last 10 years.
Damn.
Is Puxatawny Phil accounting for global warming?
He's losing his touch.
Losing his touch. He's getting up there. He's getting up there.
It's like that one Greek philosopher who correctly predicted a meteorite strike. Like, and it's like, bro, you've been writing dates your entire life. You just got lucky this one time.
Is that Nostradamus?
No, it was an ancient Greek dude.
I almost said Nosferatu.
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 You know,
What is
the
your
famous-
wife's Instagram?
I'm sure they have snooker app.
Vampire plays snooker.
Papa, you cannot say these stereotypes.
The lights from all the cameras cause a shadow. Ooh, is it rigged? Is it rigged?
Puxatawny. Well, damn it. Okay, February.
It all
6th,
goes back
we're
to Big Groundhog.
February
exactly.
6th, we're storming Gobbler's Knob.
I thought it was in Puxatawny, not Gobbler's Knob.
Gobbler's Knob.
Someone looked up and said Gobbler's Knob.
Yeah, we'll make a pit stop in
Gobbler.
Gobbler's
I
Knob.
kind
just
of
like-
got tunnel vision. I don't know what
Hold on.
had to do with it.
Puxatawny
Gobbler's
Phil.
Knob.
You saw a Gobbler's Knob and you got locked the fuck in.
Okay.
Yeah.
The prognosticator of prognosticators, Puxatawny Phil, will once again appear at sunrise on February 2nd at Gobbler's Knob in the Pennsylvania wilds to make his annual. Also, maybe it's like it's right over
hill.
from Puxatawny.
How do they get them? How do they get him to come out every year?
He just does.
He does.
He's
That's why he's the
powers.
prognosticator of prognosticators.
Let's
And he's
go.
like 200 years old.
Wait. So it's not Gobbler's Knob. Sorry, I was thinking of a joke.
Oh.
What is the? What is the? Yeah, it was cooking. What is the other place?
Puxatawny.
Puxatawny. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
What Puxatawny Phil is named for.
Yeah.
I have to do this before Groundhog Day because I need to know.
Yes.
I need to know.
You have to find out
Yeah.
how many
Don't
bones.
Google Gobbler's
topical.
Knob.
Don't Google Gobbler's Knob. Hey, yo.
Hey guys! According to the Puxatawny Groundhog Club, there has only been one Puxatawny Phil since 1886.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I believe it.
100.
And then
He
you
drank the
also
elixir.
Google
Yeah.
how long groundhogs live, and in the wild, it's the lower level is 4 years.
104. No, he's just doing the beer haze beset. He's just turning himself back young.
Yeah, the
According
elixir.
to the lore, there's only one Phil, and all other groundhogs are imposters. It is claimed that this one groundhog has lived to make weather prognostications since 1886, sustained by drinks of groundhog punch and our elixir of life administered at the annual groundhog picnic in the fall.
What do they? Okay, so it is well known that when the Queen of England died, they said London Bridge is down. What do they say when Puxatawny Phil?
They have to shut down Gobbler's Knob. You
And
can't
they
gamble.
absolutely do.
They
Okay.
finally they have to release how many bones are in the groundhog's
Yes.
body.
Yes. Yes.
They can finally release the file.
Wait, so you're telling me that we will know how many bones groundhogs have once Puxatawny Phil dies? Does that mean that Darby now has an incentive to go and murder Puxatawny Phil?
Gentlemen, I've got a mission for us.
Yeah. Gab, we need your expertise in planning assassinations.
I was about to say
Yeah.
this is how
On Minecraft.
This is-
On Minecraft.
On
people.
Minecraft, in Minecraft.
I'm gonna kill Puxatawny Phil!
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft?
In Minecraft.
Guys, it's so funny, cause the drink gives him 7 more years of life.
What was
So
that?
he just
What was that song that was going around TikTok where a guy wrote a musical number for?
epic.
No, for Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Oh.
He
Yeah.
wrote it about like
Yeah.
Puxatawny
Like,
Phil
Phil-
and his wife.
Yeah, and the elixir.
There's a
The
wife.
elixir of life.
The elixir of
My
life.
wife.
It sounded very. I'll find it. I'll send it later. but-
Due to the Puxatawny Phil hubris.
Yes. Mm-hmm. He was getting tired.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is also a musical based on the movie Groundhog Day,
Yes.
and it's a great musical.
Mhm.
And it's a great movie.
Yes, it is.
Perception
That's a
check
good
for
movie.
Phil to see his shadow.
It's got to be 30.
It's got.
But he's 200 years old. So what level is he?
Oh.
Or
It
does
go-
that
it-
make him? Or does that make his eyesight over time go
Oh.
down?
But he drinks the elixir of life, so
Exactly.
I don't.
Yeah, we
He's
don't
like-
know.
he's
It's an
like-
unknown.
He's like the fucking knight at the end of the Last Crusade that's just like sitting
Yeah.
in his cave reading the Bible until someone comes to
Or he's
say.
a lich.
Or he's a lich. Right.
Or he's a lich.
He has access to 9th level spells. He could just fucking wish that it would be spring or whatever. Okay, we gotta play D&D. We gotta play
Yeah.
D&D.
The DC just goes up. Someone has to make a stat block for Pokemon Phil now.
Gosh.
The DC goes up every year.
Backup
Matt-
care.
Matthew and I last year. It's actually our anniversary. Groundhog's Day. But what I was
Aw.
gonna say.
Aw.
What I was gonna say is it started off with us like figuring out the lore behind Groundhog's Day because we're like, so why did we look at a groundhog and say there was winter? And so then it became a whole competition between towns and anyway.
Oh.
Lore out Groundhog's Day. Make it your own.
All right.
Exactly.
We could
There you
do one of those like adorable critter one shots, and we all play animals, and we have to rescue Puxatawny Phil,
Or
or knock him off.
or take care of him.
We have to count his bones.
You have to
You have
count
to
him both.
count him. Darby, you sound more crazy every time you say it. I
No,
think it's
I am becoming. Every day I check my email and there's nothing in there, and it's getting to me.
oh god.
Did you ever send a follow up?
Yes. What was what was his name? Their communications director. I dropped Magneto.
I thought you
Oh,
just
no.
slapped yourself.
I thought a bug landed on you.
I thought you said I dropped Magneto.
I also
No!
heard that.
Why were you holding him?
Sean, communications director of the American Society of Mammalogists. I emailed him directly and he still hasn't answered me.
Answer your email, Sean.
Sean,
People want to know.
Hey, Sean, I know you're gonna see this.
Sean,
your
comment
emails.
in this YouTube video.
Yeah.
It's a Twitch
The
stream.
people need to know.
Wait, didn't we have a guy named Sean join last stream
Oh.
we had? That would be
maybe.
fucking hilarious.
Sean, if that's you, I need you to find out how many bones a groundhog
Sean,
has.
check
I need you to answer my
Sean,
email.
please.
Sean, check your fucking email.
This is all I will ever ask of you.
Also, there's so many broken links on your website. You should really get on that.
Yeah, Skillshare
also
is a
now-
wonderful website development platform. I go into a full-on sponsorship read, and we are not getting paid.
Magneto's covered in rug dust now.
Okay.
Oh, okay, Florida.
Nice.
We're playing D&D?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
I was trying to walk. Oh, it's like I have some like mucus coming like my mouth. Yeah, okay, but yes, yes, yeah. Look, everyone's getting sick. It's fine. Okay.
It's fine.
That's fine.
Well, yes, and yes. Then, as always, a deep and cleansing breath before we begin. Sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, then please join me. And everything after the breath is canon. Now, a quick recap. Delicious RP. Delicious RP. Patched up and sailing west. Everyone here, using their wits and their wiles, was able to patch up the Exterminator and begin sailing west towards Supere after Kenneth Ward to rescue their Goliath helmsman, him, who is revealed to be the brother of the All-God Cleric, the twin of the All-God Cleric, the All-God Preacher. And just as our heroes were laying their heads down to take a long rest, like basically one day before arriving at Superi, they were able to hear a prayer repeated for hours and hours on end, calling for them, calling for our heroes, while also asking that they deliver them from suffering, from anguish of body and of mind. and as they sleep, and as we cut back to our heroes, as you all awaken from your long rest, the chanting has disappeared. You are all approaching the Boneyard and Superi, and you guys would remember that Quara, Jordan, and the Chainbreakers have been scouting out the Boneyard in reference to Olive's godly weapon and can meet up with them if you so choose. But with all of that, the floor is yours. What do you guys do?
The chanting's gotten quieter, it's just stopped.
It disappeared. At some point when you guys went to bed, it stopped.
Okay.
I imagine first we should probably get in contact or find Cora and Jordan, see if they know anything.
Can we see their ship from where we are, or?
Everyone here, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Here's the option.
Bounced out. Don't count.
Don't count.
18.
18?
27.
27.
Also an
24.
18.
24, 18. With all of that, you guys are able to hear Fred on the top in the crow's nest of your ship go and calls out to you guys in like a three-pronged howl. Looking up to him as he points in a direction, you guys are able to watch as a schooner, roughly the same size as the Exterminator, is sailing towards you guys with windsurfers off of its bow, and you guys are able to recognize the Riptide, the Chainbreaker ship, as you guys are able to see them approaching you.
Do we have like a flag or something that we can wave? To just say hi?
Do we have a flag?
Do you have a flag?
I don't know. I don't think we have a flag.
I don't think we have a flag.
Well, you can make one if you want.
I wave really big.
You wave. Lots of waving. You guys also, you wave really big as the windsurfers, as there are people in full plate armor, faces completely covered. The windsurfers, like splash water up and onto your deck, kind of like spraying you out with like a fine, like sea salt mist. As they kind of like drift around your ship, they come up to the side. You guys are able to hear as they throw up grappling hooks to latch their windsurfing boards onto the side of your ship as they climb up and over the side of the Exterminator. As they remove their helmets, you are able to see Quara and Jordan as they rejoin you and your crew. It's so nice to see all of you. Quara greets everyone, looks around. Any reactions to Quara or Jordan?
I'll go up to greet them once they get onto the ship.
Jordan takes off her helmet and immediately gives you like a big hug just immediately. Complete lack of formality as Quara kind of walks up to her and goes, "It's a pleasure to see you again," and goes to kind of like shake your arm, shakes it real hard, goes around kind of like pats Mud on the shoulder, kind of like extends the same kind of courtesy to Cowrie. As Jordan pulls back and said, "It's been so lonely on the seas without you."
I'm sorry it's taken us so long. Have you found anything of note?
There's been quite a few raiders and monsters that we've killed in the Boneyard, but we definitely have more information once we all get settled in. Are you aware that you have underwear in your sails?
That's part of the sails.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the sails. And you don't have a top flag either.
No, we need to do that. We're
Okay.
working on that.
Quara approaches everyone and says, "And of course, we should and again, there's been many good battles that have been had in the last several weeks, and even more information on the southern coast of Superi off of the Boneyard. But what have y'all been up to? What has been going on?"
When did we last see you?
After the escape the Arbor.
Oh. Well, you know we can't go back to the Arbor, right? We're...
Oh, absolutely not.
No. But you knew that, right?
Yes, we helped you escape.
Right, that's what I thought, yes. We met Kenneth Ward. I don't know if you know who that is. He's a mercenary,
We hate him.
octopus man.
Quora. Quora spits when she hears the name.
Oh. He's the reason why we're here. As you can see, we're missing our helmsman, so we're here to rescue him.
Oh, he's graduated to stealing people now.
Yes, he's. Yes.
All right. Yes, Otto actually worked with Kenneth Ward maybe 25 years ago to steal the golden cutlass from a cursed wizard ship. And right as they were sailing away, Kenneth Ward, during the night, not only stole the golden cutlass, but also stole Otto's peg leg, which at the time was made of a steel dagger. So that man is dead if we find him again.
Well, yes, he was already going to be dead, but he will be dead twice-fold.
I'm going to reach into Kenneth's bag of holding and think of a peg leg that looks like a dagger and see if he has it.
Go ahead and roll me a d20 and get a 19 or a 20.
Guided?
I sure didn't.
Okay.
I got a 5.
You get the sense that that Kenneth Ward did that to inconvenience Otto, not because he wanted to keep it for 25 years.
It was worth a shot.
We fought some members of the Shiver Gang. We went into the carpal tunnels.
Jordan and Quara's eyes are just big, and they're like, you keep going, definitely keep going, but they are infatuated by your story.
We learned some things. I learned some things. I believe that was when I told you both to come here, because that's where I believe the weapon is that can send you back. Or at the very least, fix your situation.
For those that do not remember, completely understandably, Quara and Jordan, both water genasi relate. Quara and Jordan, the wife and daughter of Otto Wavebreak, the Orcish pirate captain, sisters related to Dura and Doug and Cade and all of those people. But also you are able to notice the cut marks kind of deep into their necks as they are talking to you. As Quara says, the carpal tunnels is a place that we've thought of often. I'm glad there's a new generation that was able to gaze upon its holiness. And we have information for you. We've been searching around, keeping our ears to the waves.
Yes, whatever you can tell us, we greatly appreciate.
Of course. Let me, do you just like kind of like, so what else? You guys went to...
We went...
Yeah. Here, keep summarizing.
We went to the well.
Yes, we went back to the well, saw Ken again. We went to the band aisle, where we met some of Kaori's family. We went to the well for our heist, and we met more of Kaori's family. We saw Ken again. Then we went to Balar Fortress, I believe.
Yes.
At some point in there, we did.
Yes.
You guys
Balar
can't be pinned
Fortress.
down. You've been all over the place.
Yes, and then we left Balar Fortress. We went to the Moro Isles. The Moro Isles is incinerated, for a lack of better term. It's rebuilding.
Jordan, again, like 18, 19 years old, turns to her mom and goes, "They're really cool."
We found some friends. I point out Lollipop, Fuse, Fred, and AJ, who's just being chilling in the back.
AJ right now is R.I.P. Nico. He's not dead. He's just not here. AJ's kind of like in his sentry mode, just kind of keeping watch on the ship. Fred waves. Quara and Jordan are confused. They look over. They see a half bear folk, half gummy bear person going, And they just kind of like wave back a little bit confused. Fuse is causing lightning to crack out of some kind of staff that he's working on. As you guys, Quara looks and says, kind of looks at you specifically, Olive, and goes, quite a fleet you've amassed.
Well, it's important to have allies. We're going to need them in the coming days.
The captain needs them, aye.
Indeed.
But speaking of the coming days, we have information not only on the weapon that we presume to be somewhere around here, but also on the All-God Cleric if you're interested.
We are absolutely interested.
All right, pull up the barrels, pull up the chairs. It's time for a story, and everyone just starts pulling up barrels and chairs to sit down and get a little bit of the information that they were able to glean from just being around here. As you guys are kind of sailing together again, like the Riptide, the remaining crew of the Chainbreakers, kind of like waving to you guys, just kind of like continuing to tend the ship. You guys are approaching both Boneyard and the island of Supere. And this is going to work in a couple different ways. So it's going to have to be me talking for a little bit about like summarizing information that Quara and Jordan have found and giving a Boneyard description and giving a Supere description. We're not going to do all those at the same time because that's just a lot of information and my voice can't take it. But I'm going to ask, what do you guys want first? What do you want to be described first? The story, the Boneyard, or Supere?
I think the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Works. Yeah.
Okay, absolutely sounds awesome. You guys are able to, again, pull up chairs, pull up barrels, sit down, pop open a bottle of rum, and Quara and Jordan will begin giving you some information. Let me just very quickly turn the music over. Quara and Jordan sit you down, and Quara lays out a piece of parchment on top of like the barrel table that you guys are all sitting around. And here you guys, it's crudely drawn, it's clearly made by them. And you're able to see several things. The first thing you see is a bunch of like small little like crudely drawn like boats and ships and wood and pieces of metal and things. And this is obviously supposed to be the ship graveyard known as the Boneyard. But it's like kind of closer in than the general world map will give you, because at the northern end, like kind of like where these like drawings of shipwrecks stop, you guys are able to see a coastline with like indicating like shallower waters, like you can't sail any closer without wrecking your ship. And then you're able to see descriptions, like written descriptions of a city. You're able to see like buildings, kind of like a rough mapping of maybe like 6 or 7 blocks into it of general streets, general organization of like how this city was mapped out. It gets kind of like this is going onto the island of Superi. Towards the center of the Boneyard. And then it kind of gets a little bit like murky, like you're not really able to see any kind of like architectural plans. But then farther back on this map, like basically like towards the center of the city, you're able to see a large ziggurat has been drawn. Like one of those like traditional like, oh my god,
Mayan temples?
Maya, I was gonna say Maya, yeah. I've watched some videos, I've learned my lesson. Like some Maya temples like constructed. And as you guys look at this parchment paper, everyone here give me a history check, just a DC 12. But everyone here gets advantage.
Oh.
I just wanted clarification. The city was on the coastline, not in the water, correct?
Yes. So it goes Boneyard is here, and then it goes like the coastline and like the city drawing basically.
But can I?
I rolled 2 natural 20s.
I rolled a nat 20
Yay.
as well.
Cool, great. I'm not
Tell us
gonna flip my
everything
coin.
about
Yeah,
this ziggurat.
tell us everything about it.
Is this where I was engaged?
No.
Oh!
3. You got 3 and you got 3. You got 3. You got 3 nat 20s.
3,
You got
count
3.
3.
That's a 3. What does that get?
20.
Son of a bitch.
Yes.
Okay. So even though I don't have to ask, what did everybody else get?
14.
14?
11.
11. So Okay, this is gonna go wildly out of order. But so here is, oh my god.
You gave us advantage.
I did. It's fully on me. So here's what you're able to recognize. The first thing you
Hang on,
recognize
Bardify.
is that you've seen this crude drawing of a ziggurat before. And you're all able to realize why, because I don't know who would have it, but just so it plays into that insane fucking group check, one of you rummages around in your bag and pulls out a map of the well. And as you pull out a map of the well, you realize that this crude drawing of a ziggurat looks eerily similar to the temples of the well, the ziggurats of the well, the feast temple, the love temple, the wealth temple. Almost like were they, and again, a lot of questions from that of, is there some kind of religious significance? Are they somehow linked? Is it to the same faith? What's going on there? Who knows? Too many questions to ask, but it's like, oh, that's fascinating. And then you look even closer, and then, okay, so how the fuck am I gonna possibly even describe this?
Just read from your lore doc.
Yeah.
No. We're gonna get into it a little bit. Her. As you stare at this map, and fuck it, actually, we'll say that you guys are actually able to look up from the sides of your ship and actually see the boneyard and see Superi and see like a mirage in the distance, a like sandstone constructed city. Again, it's nowhere near the opulence that it once was, but it was the center of a large trading empire that we will get into a little bit later. But you're able to see the ziggurat off like a mirage. And her, you know in your heart that of all of the places that you could propose to someone, the top of that ziggurat is the most romantic place potentially in this section of the world. But also, the ziggurat towers high above the ruins of the city below it. And even at this great distance, with no other details being said, there is a reason as to why ziggurats are constructed the way they are, the reason why they're so tall. And it is so that at the top, these like hollowed temples, and this is like very inspired by the Inca, by the Maya, that the gods can look out across the kingdom because it is the place closest to the skies and to heaven. The top of that ziggurat is where you will find the all-god cleric unless he comes to find you first.
That's good. That's so good.
In addition to that, Cowrie with 2 natural 20s. That's crazy. You look out to the city, and you look out to the map. And as you're looking at the map, this is taking too long, let me know. As you're looking at the city, you look at the shoreline, you look at the map, you look how it's drawn, you're able to, something flashes into your mind very quickly. And you remember the All-Seer. 2 nat 20s is fucking crazy. Because as you remember the All-Seer, and you remember, again, her, like, beautiful, like plump, like, face, and the freckles, and the hair, and the seal skin, and just the loving, motherly energy, and the eyes, or the lack thereof. The 2 platinum coins that she had instead of her eyes. And you remember, and again, I don't think I ever described this before, but on the coins of the eyes of the All-Seer, there was an image that with 2 nat 20s you are able to remember right now. You are able to look out, and the reason why you're remembering this is because as you look out to like the shoreline that was described by Quara and Jordan on this map, as you peer like through a spyglass or just have like, an incredible amount of perception, you're able to look out and see that as the waves kind of begin to sink down, like the tide begins to recede a little bit as the tide often does, the shallow lanes that you can't take your ship, Again, mainly because you can't sail your ship into the ground, or it's going to just fucking destroy the bottom of it. But as the waves recede, you're able to see like almost like small little triangles like sticking out of the water, like almost like these like oblong shapes that don't belong there. And as the waves recede, the color and the complexion, you love things, you love objects. Those sandstone blocks within the water look an awful lot like the sandstone blocks that are used to construct the ruins of the city that you can see, as well as the ziggurat. And then the All-Seer's coins flash into your mind. Because these coins were not sanctioned by the Fist, they weren't sanctioned by the Arbor. These coins came from somewhere else, and they bore a marking that you did not think significant until remembering it now. Because on the coins on her eyes, there were two like half circles. So two half circles separated by like some distance. How do I have any paper next to me? Yes.
Like 2 half circles.
I will draw an image right now.
An
Here,
image.
Like, let's see if this will focus. Like this, more or less.
Like slits?
Like a
almost?
hamburger bun.
Yeah, Drusif,
Yeah, hold on.
DM, look at your screen.
I'm doing
Okay,
something. What's up?
I was also doing something. Is it like this?
So actually, similar. Hold on.
Okay.
You got me on the back foot the one time I don't plan.
3 nat 20s.
On a history check.
On a history check. And what you are able
So
to...
if the all god cleric, all right, hear me out.
Yeah.
Me and Rahi proposed. I proposed to Rahi on the top of the ziggurat. The
Mhm.
all god cleric lives in the ziggurat. How was he not there when we proposed?
Didn't y'all defeat him?
Then how did he come back?
History we'll get into. This is the image that you were able to remember from the all-god... from the all-seer's coins. Let's see if that focuses.
This would be the boneyard and Superior Trump.
Yeah.
And what you're able to recognize, and again, I can't draw because I just did that in 10 seconds. But what you're able to notice is that there are like crude, non-detailed stampings of cities on the coin, like on those half circles, and you're able to see one represent a city. One represents a city that is to your north on Superi. One is to represent a city that is to your south, which is on Trum. But then there's a stamping of a city in the center of the coin, where the boneyard is.
Is that like a city under the water? Like Atlantis?
Time.
Under the sea.
And that is what you're able to clock with 3 nat 20s.
Okay. Is it, do I get the
Incredible.
sense that it's like something old, like pre-boneyard, or something like that's been like since then?
That is a
Like
great...
it's a new...
It's a great question. With 2 nat 20s, you're able to recognize so just to like kind of give some hints as to like where this arc is going to go. Not only are you dealing with, because the boneyard's only 40 years old. You look out to the boneyard, there is no remnant, there is ocean, there is no city whatsoever, and you have no idea what that's about. But also, this entire arc is going to deal with ancient religion, not newfound go to church, Aphrodite, we're all feeling good, we're all holding hands religion. Strict adherence to faith and doctrine is what this arc is going to focus on, as well as the themes of rebelling against it. But you are looking at and you're recognizing there is history so ancient here that probably that ziggurat's a good place to start, but no one alive right now, even if they're hundreds of years old, would have any recollection of any of this. Make sense?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was all for Umberly, and the All God Cleric kind of repurposed it. Ziggurat.
Hmm.
Hmm.
That's what you get from looking at a map.
I'm getting. Oh.
I see everything.
Any questions?
Every universe collapsing in on itself.
I have a hex trap. Okay. Any questions?
So you're saying city on the top, city on the bottom. And like looking at
City in the
the
middle.
you said sandstone. Does the sandstone look like old? Is that what you're trying to say to us?
Yeah, oh, absolutely, yes. Like to speak. So the temples in the well have kind of been like reconstructed in a way to like become more modernized. But the overall like construction of the well temples is very much like set blocks of stone and then the penthouses at the top. It's like a ziggurat. Like the ziggurat is like one of the oldest forms of temple building that there is. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And the irregular chunks of like stone, you said,
Mhm.
do they look like ruins of like an old building?
With
Or is it like natural formations?
So definitely not natural formations. And actually, as you kind of clock it, you realize that some kind of sandstone was used to make both the buildings, the roads, and the ziggurat themselves. You're unsure, but it looks like that sunken beneath the waves are either ancient ruins like buildings or roads.
Okay.
And who were the people that built the ziggurats in the well? Was it the Aturs, or we didn't know? We didn't figure that
You
out.
know that the Aturs have been there since the plague at Balar Fortress kind of pushed them all out to go and explore the rest of the island, but you're unsure if the temples were already there when they arrived.
Oh, got
Okay.
it.
Because
Okay.
the thing that they built Balar Fortress,
Yes, they did.
and that was like a big cube.
That was like some impossible like dwarven structure.
Yeah.
Almost at a spoiler. Wow. It's like impossible dwarven structure within. You didn't go down that path 2 years ago. It's fine. Yeah, but different in construction. You'd be able to recognize if it was like dwarven built. So
And also looking at that on the map, or looking at that image and thinking of the image from the coin, it looks like an eye. Which, and given all of
Right.
the body part shaped things,
That was the Eye of the Titan.
yeah. I don't know if Cowrie knows that. That's probably way above table.
So if it's the Eye of the Titan, and the Fury circles around it, could it be almost like a teardrop? I don't know.
So excellent ideas. The half circle, although it could appear to be an eye, knowing what you know about the world of the Palm and the Fist and what it is, the sunken body of a sea titan, fucking millennia and hundreds of millennia ago. It's at the center of the world map.
It's the nip.
Maybe
Mouth?
No, it's
It's the mouth.
Yeah, it's
right?
it is the mouth,
yeah,
The
the upper lip and the lower lip.
the nip
Dang
of
it,
the
I-
face.
if you will.
The mouth is the nipple
Okay.
of the face. Yes.
I see.
Dang it.
I understand.
We
I
all know
almost
that.
I almost said belly button, and when you guys said mouth at the same time, I was about to say belly button, and that would have been really embarrassing.
Is the boneyard the equivalent of like this Titan hasn't flossed in forever, and so all these ships are like?
Well, you got to remember,
Well-
the Battle of Sailor's Pass only
Yeah.
happened 40 years ago, and Sailor's Pass was a thing for hundreds of years beforehand, potentially thousands.
Was it between the two islands that Sailor's Pass was, or?
Yes,
where it
so-
sped it up.
Man, thank you, index card. Mwah. So with this,
So wait, there's a city in the middle.
Sailor's Pass is this. It is in between
Okay.
the two semi.
And that is
So-
now the boneyard.
That is now the boneyard, but there is no city there. It's deep ocean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, which is probably where Umberlee's.
Yeah, it's at the deepest point.
But okay, so then
It's because it doesn't look like. Does it look like a city because it's so the way it drops off so quickly? It's super dark. No.
What does that mean? Explain.
Okay.
Wait.
If Umberly's thing is at the deepest part of the ocean, here's the coast. It comes in and then it kind of just randomly drops.
No, because it's in the middle of Sailor's Pass. And
You know,
so it's...
If this is the mouth, then whatever was there in ancient times, did it get swallowed?
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's like it just drops.
Hmm.
Here's the thing. So we know that the gods killed the Titans or like made them fall, and it's probably not how this works. But I just love the idea of Umberly like them being like, what do? We have to kill this, and Umberly like, I'm going in the mouth. And they're like, what? I'm going in its mouth.
Like freaking. What this? It's probably not, but it's just made me think of when, like, the Greek gods, when they when the
Kronos ate his
Titan like
kids.
swallowed all of them, and
Yeah.
then they like fought him from his stomach or whatever, like,
Well-
and took them all back out.
Zeus gave Kronos a mixture that made him vomit up the
Yeah.
other kids. And they were all full grown at this point.
I'm
And
probably
Hestia
overcomplicating things.
because she got swallowed first.
Yeah.
Also,
But it
all
just
of
made me
these
think of
conversations are happening in character, and Sequoia and Jordan are like, all we did was put down a map. Like, and someone pulls out a brochure, someone starts pointing towards the coastline and shouting incoherent nonsense.
We like pull a lever and like a whole like cork board rises up.
Her goes, I got married there.
Jordan, Quora, listen, Zanwei is hands.
What?
We know
Zanwei
this.
Fu is hands.
What? I've never been before. Is it nice?
I don't know. I had never been.
We'll plan a vacation afterwards. They're sorting out some political stuff right now.
Who isn't?
Okay.
Oh, Horcry, I think. I think
Is-
Horcry's the only one that's settled.
Are we done with the map? Are there any more questions?
Have you seen a person hanging around at the top of the ziggurat when you've sailed by?
So that's 70 miles away.
I was unaware of distances. My eyes were closed.
It's all right. You can just say it like through the fog of like basically the curvature of the earth. But have we seen a single person there? No.
Have you seen the All God Cleric? I think is what she meant.
Yes. We have seen the All God Cleric.
Does he seem stupid? Question.
No. There are no stupid questions.
Well, I was gonna ask if he seemed nice, and then that felt really, really stupid, given that I thought more about it for 2 seconds.
Quara steps up and goes, is he nice to outsiders? No. But is he nice to his own people? No. So no.
Cool. Yeah. That's why I decided it was a stupid question. Thank you for answering.
No,
that.
of course. Now, what has been happening is because we have seen him, because every evening at around midnight, his flock congregates and they set up pyres that are burned. Now, we can describe them to you, or we can wait until this evening to show you, because presumably they've been doing it for the last 8 weeks straight.
Is that when they sing?
They have been singing hymns non-stop all night for weeks and weeks on end.
Is it the same chant every time?
It is, yes, repeated for hours as the pyres they set up burn, and only until they have burned down to embers does the singing stop and they all go rest.
I repeat the chant that we heard last night.
That's exactly right.
Wait. Sorry. Keep going. Sorry.
So, we can save the pyres for later. We can, if anything, it's going to happen again tonight if they continue. If we wish to do anything beforehand, we can always just describe them. We can let you know what you're walking into. But
Sorry.
No, please.
We should probably do like a lot of reconnaissance before we step foot on the islands.
Oh yeah, that was our job. Well, I'm going to give you everything that I've.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in regards to the weapon, we have been in between killing raiders, killing monsters within a boneyard. We've been doing deep dives as deep as we can to try to find out what's within the deep waters. And right as we reach the cusp of where we're able to dive to, we're able to see a slight glimmer beneath the waves. It's like light reflecting off a sea glass. It's like a reflection of something, which is confusing because light cannot penetrate down that deeply. We don't know what's emanating that light. Perhaps it is the weapon. But diving deeper is satisfying. It fills us with peace somehow. The waters down there, they're still, and they almost feel homely. But even though we are unable to drown, we have been unable to find what this place is, or find what this shining is, because there's some kind of protective barrier, strong currents whirling around, completely against any kind of undersea current I've ever seen, where it blocks off any creature from swimming past it. And also, the water down there is so cold that our armor began to freeze over. It was too... And again, as creatures who love the deep sea, it was inhuman even for us. It was completely unsurvivable.
The protective barrier is too cold, or just being down there is too cold?
So when you reach the barrier, your armor and your body will start to freeze because of just like the subthermal temperatures. And as you continue to try to swim down, there's a protective current that kind of whips you back up, like not towards the surface, but just like kind of away from swimming down anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What sort of monsters did you fight?
Well, the boneyard, and you're able to watch as kind of like Quara and Jordan kind of... Yeah, everyone here give me an insight check.
Ooh. 10.
10.
6.
6. Hot.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
23.
23. Her and Mud, I think her, you're able to recognize it from the emotion, and Mud, you're able to recognize this just from your long history of the punishments of Tangleroot. Quara and Jordan both seem very melancholy, almost like depressed thinking about it, as you guys remember the history of why the Battle of Sailor's Pass happened. And as you look out to the boneyard of like these thousands and thousands of slaver and pirate ships that crashed together, that was because the Grip Isle got raided by slavers and triggered this enormous battle. And Quara and Jordan are kind of like living examples. They're, in a way, they were the cause. So, they look out and they say, well, slaver and pirate aren't really terms anymore that are used to describe the crews that still inhabit the ships that have since locked together and kind of formed neighborhoods and amalgamations of wrecks. They've kind of all formed into one, well, not one, but different pods of raiders that prey upon the prey upon each other, they prey upon ships for resources, things like that. People who've had no way of returning to their home and have just been surviving for the last 4 decades, as well as any shipwreck survivors or criminals or outlaws or vagabonds who rejected organized society to become lawless. But as for monsters, when you have such a collection of rotting wood and such a collection of corpses to feed upon, monsters are an inevitability. There have been harpies, like winged harpies, that have taken refuge in some ships. There have been large aquatic-based, like bug folk or bug-esque monsters. There have been wood mites and crows that have learned to be symbiotic, to work together to hunt living prey. Some of the ships themselves have kind of become sentient, in a sense, or in the way that they consume other ships and the people inside, almost as if they themselves are violent because of the history they suffered. That's just a small collect. If you wish us to go on, there are dozens and dozens more. Hi, Herb.
Sorry.
Never be sorry.
I
Love him.
Come on.
But what is the biggest threat we should keep in mind?
As long as you stay outside of the boneyard, luckily none of the ships are in sailing order. The groups within seem too concerned with killing each other to bother fixing up any of the rotting ships to sail off to the Fist, the Arbor, any of the Finger Isles, anything like that. In terms of landing your ship in Supari, the main issue is that any raider tribe not associated with the All-God Flock and the All-God Cleric will most likely strip your ship for parts and kill you and take your belongings. Now, if you wish to stay at sea and go on foot, that is also an option, but there is the chance that you may, upon camping and trekking through Supari, run into any number of potential threats, whether that is monsters that have made landfall or raider gangs that sneak up on you at night to cut your throat and take your sword.
Maybe we have to talk to Rahi to see how we did it last time. Yeah.
That would be wise. Because it's either dock at sea and face raiders, or dock at Superi and lose our ship, potentially.
Quara and Jordan kind of go, or a potential third option is you could sail directly to the nearest to the center dock where you would be able to lay anchor, closest to the closest to the ziggurat, closest to the city, and be welcomed by the All-God flock. If it because the pyres looked very similar to all of you, and because the chants seem to reference each of you, if they welcome you in, no other raider tribe would be able to come and essentially have their way with your vessel.
The pyres looked like us?
Shockingly so. Aye.
But were there people tied to them?
Aye.
How would they even know what we look like?
Quara looks like very contemplative in this moment, trying to like word this properly, and says, the All-God Cleric is, he's been an issue since the Battle of Sailors Pass, when the cities fell. We can get into the city's history, by the way, but for now, he was strong. But he was part of a dime a dozen bands of bandits who were roving Supari and Trum, who, if my history is correct, you and Rahi and the Duke were fighting against, trying to unify them under a moral and righteous banner. But About 20 years ago or so, he went from being powerful to having power. And I've only heard rumors and stories, and I can't say which have legitimacy, but I think the name of the All-God Cleric has taken on a different meaning. And I'm not sure what god he serves. I'm not sure if he serves every god. I'm not sure if all gods look down kindly upon him. But I think he has power from somewhere.
And he didn't have this power before? He was always the All-God Cleric?
He was always the All-God Cleric, aye, but his methods changed significantly. It went from a performance to a faith, if that makes any sense.
Does he have any other name that anyone knows?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Have you seen any chance you saw Kenneth Ward come by?
Fuck that guy.
No. If we did, we would have dragged him down to the depths and let him freeze. But no, we haven't seen him.
But anything important to the All-God Cleric happens on the ziggurat?
Anything important for the All-God Cleric happens on the ziggurat? Well, he's been making appearances on the shore overlooking the boneyard. He's been the one lighting the pyres when the ceremony begins. But from what we can see is he spends most of his time within the ziggurat.
So is that that must be where he keeps what's important to him?
I would imagine so.
Light the pyres. The chanting just went out. We're gonna assume that they're going to rest now. And then in a little bit, he's gonna come down from that ziggurat and light the pyres again. Would it be better or safer for us to meet him on the beach rather than up in the ziggurat?
DM to player, incredible thinking. Quara and Jordan wouldn't have any way of really knowing. But the world is your oyster. I have all of this stuff prepped out. It is however you want to tackle it.
Like, you don't fight a hag in her lair. You don't challenge a dragon while it's sitting on its hoard, you know?
Who said we were immediately fighting?
True.
I mean, knowing us, it's not totally unlikely that might be where things go.
It's where things will go, but we have an invitation.
You go.
As awful as it is, we should try and play nice at first, to learn anything we can and get anything useful we can from him.
Do you think he's gonna recognize you, Kaori?
I don't know. My colors hadn't come in on my seal skin yet. I was a baby? Toddler? Baby?
6 months old, yeah.
I was a baby.
Baby.
Babies all look the same. They're all kind of doughy and round. I don't know.
At the very least, we don't have to use this, but if Ken is still there and if we're trying to gain favor, then we could remind the All-God Cleric that Ken was the one who stole you from him.
This was true.
And with that, before we take a quick break, would you guys mind if I gave you one of the descriptions of either the Boneyard or Superi?
Would mind terribly.
Oh,
I mind so much.
I mind so much.
I don't want to hear it.
what?
Drew has so much power now that he can walk.
Oh yeah, I can go anywhere I want. Okay. Is there any other questions on any of that information? I don't want to cut you guys off before we take a break.
Oh, I had one more question.
Yeah. What's up?
Does the All God Cleric have a ship? And if so, what does it look like? Do we
Oh my
know?
God, sorry, I'm flubbering.
I do.
Or was him's ship that he went into the Fury with the only ship the All-God Cleric had?
I don't know.
Quar and Jordan kind of like look at each other because they really. Actually, I'll make a roll about that. Jordan looks over and says, "We really haven't seen any of his flock leave, and we really haven't seen. We've been scouting this place for the last like month and a half, basically. But we really haven't seen any kind of trade. We haven't seen anyone come in. We haven't seen anyone leave. I don't think he has a vessel. I think Superi is his home, or I'm not sure. But they don't seem to have any kind of navy. And I'm also not sure if people wanted to leave that he let them."
No ships.
No ships.
All right. I mean, I feel fine. I don't know about the rest of you, but if we have an opportunity to not catch them off guard, but at the very least cease their chanting, we could move quicker.
Think we'll have to prove something to the All-God Cleric?
Perhaps.
And was Mud one of the pilers?
Oh.
Give me one sec.
Tell him that I'm not,
Jordan begins to.
I'm not, so.
Quar and Jordan kind of flip their little map over. They grab a quick like charcoal pencil and begin to sketch out a rough approximation of what one of the effigies looked like. And as they sketch it out, as they finish, no checks necessary, you guys are able to look over and see that this like figure that they drew looks not really humanoid. It doesn't resemble a like any specific person per se, but it almost looks like an amalgamation of several different forms. It has wings, and it has four legs, and it has human arms, but it doesn't have any like head, like no eyes, no mouth. It doesn't look like it's like supposed to be horrifying. It's just difficult to place. It's like one of those it's like a kaleidoscope of forms basically. And around the form there's like warped wood that's like burned and whittled to resemble tree branches and vines. And these different vines and like wooden warpings have been modeled around a central wooden cylinder, like everything is growing out of a tree. Make sense?
Mhm.
Okay.
So, do the rest of them then look like Olive and Cowrie and her?
I will actually say
Guidance.
incredible. You just made the same roll. Wait, hold on. Okay, got it. You just helped the sun set faster. You guys are able to look over
Shit.
and kind of like counting it off. You guys probably have about 2 hours until the sun begins to set again, which means like at this point, soon, like again, nothing can really be seen. You guys are way too far away, but soon the pyres will begin to be constructed again in the same way, and this ritual will begin for another evening. Meaning that, again, this can be described, but it's going to be happening live soon.
Oh, okay.
And again, it may not happen this session. I don't want to rush you guys. If you guys want to talk to Rahi, talk to the Duke, but just letting you know, like, things are progressing if you wanted to witness this. Okay.
Could we get a description of the
Look at
boneyard
me.
then?
Look at me. You want a description of the boneyard?
Yeah.
If nobody else has questions.
Nah.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so finishing off, as you guys, the sun begins to set, and as you guys begin to hear in the distance, and you hear like fighting begin to break out as shadows begin to be cast as the sun begins to go down, as these groups of like feral raiders begin to go at each other within the boneyard again, this lawless place. Here's a description of the boneyard. Throughout all of recorded history, there was Sailor's Pass, a mystical canal whose waters propelled ships forward, allowing for faster travel no matter the direction. This passage was the core of the ancient kingdoms of Stalemate, and it was also what brought about their ruin. 40 years ago, there was the Battle of Sailor's Pass. 2 entire aquatic fleets, 1 flying flags of Jolly Rogers and 1 having crews chained in bronze. They slammed into each other in the largest naval battle ever seen and hopefully will ever be seen. Thousands of ships were brought to ruin, blasted apart, and keel-hauled and ripped to shreds by all manner of magic and man-made weaponry. The battle lasted for 14 uninterrupted days, and the lives lost were incalculable. It was a battle so destructive that the naval combat became ground combat, as the destroyed ships began to crash and link together, causing pirate crews and slaver squads to become legions of soldiers, boarding ship after ship without ever jumping a gap. Soon it wasn't about destroying vessels, but raising your flag atop masts to show what stationary ships had been taken for your side. Legends say that after the Battle of Sailor's Pass, the seas had never been so calm. Like in this epic battle, even the waves were killed. And they may have been right, because the channel's magic was gone. The currents that once assisted ships went still. Sailor's Pass was dead. And now, a graveyard of rotting ships holding unthinkable danger and riches laid in its place. It was a trash heap, a collection of junk, a boneyard. Now as you gaze to the west, you're able to see small artificial rivers and passages leading through the mangled carcasses of this battle 40 years past. But the journey through will be treacherous. Some remnants of the Battle of Sailor's Pass still hold on to their hard-fought territory, the labels of slaver or pirate having been washed away with blood. They are simply survivors. And in this place of death and rot, all kinds of scavengers have found home. And with that, we're taking a very quick break.
just as we got raided.
Yeah, we're getting raided. I wasn't looking at the stream.
I am Tafgar.
I am Tafgar. Hello, I am Tafgar.
Thank you for the raid. Please stick around.
Welcome to the table. Please stick around. We were just about to go on a break. I just had to drop a quick DM description. But super happy to have you guys here. All are welcome. Just doing some intense like pirate religious D&D. And welcome to anyone that joined.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and as we take a break, we all having a good time so far.
Yeah.
Yes,
We'll be
yes,
back
yes,
in like
yes.
5 to 10 minutes. Dude, it'll be really fast.
We're gonna go pop our hips. We're gonna get some water. We're gonna pee, and then we'll be back.
We're gonna stretch. We're gonna call our moms.
Yeah.
We're gonna do all our chores.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to bed early.
Yeah. Fuck it. We're going to bed now.
Good night.
Kiss our wives goodnight.
Kiss your dads. Okay. Any questions? Any thoughts before we go on break? Anything that I should cover? Yes.
I have theories. I have
So-
theories.
A game theory.
Say a game
Game
theory. Say it right
theory.
now.
Okay, something happened in this battle, right? Okay, maybe the weapon wasn't always here. We've always discussed that. What if the weapon is stopping the current that made the water stand still?
Ooh.
Because you said it's like a current blocking the weapon, a force field down there.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows?
And that's why, because Sailor's Pass should have gotten cleared away if this current has been here for forever.
Something stopped it.
Something.
stopped it.
Something.
Something.
So smart.
That was
And
so
maybe-
smart. That was really smart.
Is the current like the Titan's voice? Is that like... That's...
Ooh.
He's like breathing.
Oh.
That's getting real theoretical. That's nuts.
It's all his spit.
All right.
You got norovirus and just be throwing up.
I'll throw up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with
I
that
threw up.
very quick break, and then we can decide what the heck we're gonna do with all that information when we come back. But welcome everybody to the table. We'll be seeing you soon.
Woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo, woo.
And we are back.
Yeah.
Okay, waiting for Gab. Oh, Gab's running. Gab's running to her chair.
Just running through the woods.
Running through the chair. All right.
Mr. Bond.
As we return, we have more upbeat music, and after a description of the boneyard, 2 hours until sunset, 2 hours until the next ceremony will begin. What are you guys doing? Who do you want to talk to? Floor is yours.
Quick chat with Rahi just to get some history and then...
Yeah, that
Yeah.
works.
If
Yeah.
if this if this ritual has been going on for 8 weeks, it should stop if we can avoid it.
Agreed.
We'll talk to Rahi, and then I would like to talk to Cora and Jordan for a moment, but then we'll. All right, but I say that to Cora and Jordan. It's like, we need to talk to a friend, but then the moment, can the three of us?
Absolutely. Look forward to it.
Me too. Okay, Rahi.
Okay, yeah, Rahi has joined you guys, and goes, yeah.
Elephant in the room real quick. I know where we got proposed. Okay, that's kind of why we need to talk to you.
Olive, what?
Just a quick history lesson. What happened here when you were here? How did it go down? What did you do with the All-God Cleric?
So, alright, quick history lesson.
Yes.
It was kind of like trying to make a river run uphill. Because back when Charlotte and I were getting supplies and recruiting and all of that, we were trying to unify the different tribes. Again, smaller, maybe a dozen, maybe like 3 dozen people, and bring them under the Spuff banner. The problem with that was there are larger and more organized tribes that would pick us off one at a time, and a lot of them refused to join us because if the other raider bands came and steamrolled us, they were afraid they were all going to die, and they would rather join a group that was stronger with less morals than one that was weaker and righteous. Make sense? Now, the All-God Cleric is interesting, because he was a big problem before all this was set up. Back when you and I were doing this a couple of years ago, he wasn't set up in the city. The city was kind of like a no man's land where you couldn't stay for that long because it's a congregation point for monsters, people from the Boneyard, the Raider tribes. But seems like in the last couple of years, he's been, and Rahi looks furious when she says this, he's been doing what we were supposed to be doing and has been taking people into his raider group, and they got strong enough to the point where they were able to settle into the city. I don't know when that happened, but it must have happened within the last 2 years because he was not there. The reason why we could never get him is because we didn't know where he was or was going to be. Again, there really isn't. There's not a lot of infrastructure, not a lot of ways of tracking people unless you're literally on their ass. But now we know where he is.
And at the time, was he just a normal guy? Like, was there powers? Like, what was the talks about him?
When I was being raised up, the last thing you and I understood was that he had some kind of power. Like the rumors of him doing bad miracles, basically, were becoming more frequent, which was a reason that people weren't joining us, because why are they going to join us, like, couple hundred people, when there's a guy who can, if the legends are true, and honestly, I'm just gonna roll a dice to see what rumor she's gonna say. A guy who one time punched a guy so hard he disappeared, and all that was left was a chest plate and boots.
And you haven't. So where did you leave off with the All-God Cleric? How did it end?
Truth be told, we haven't actually had a run-in.
Oh.
There was no way, like, with the amount of people we had, the amount of supplies we had, even strategizing properly, there was no way we would be able to get him and then be able to survive the onslaught by his people. He always outnumbered us 10-1.
He started with these powers about 2 years ago? Or it's become more frequent as of 2 years ago?
Longer than that. I mean, the way that I've heard about it is that he's had these powers for a long time. They've only been getting stronger, though.
Okay.
He definitely didn't, and again, history is, here is kind of difficult, but he definitely didn't have them. But before I was born, so like 25, 30 years ago, he definitely didn't have them.
Okay.
You grew up here?
In a sense, yeah.
What was it like?
It was chaotic. I didn't really have a mom or a dad or siblings because the amount of people you lose when you have to scavenge and you can't find a lot of clean water, and in a lot of cases you have to sleep outside. There's a lot of fighting. I don't really know if anybody that I knew when I was growing up is still around, but what I do know is that there's a lot of people who are just doing the worst to get by, and they would do better if they were given the option. And it was a lot of fighting, and it was a lot of trying to protect people and not being able to, because I only have 2 fists and can only be in one place at a time.
Well, if it's any consolation, I'm sorry.
She puts a finger right in your face. Thank you. Thank you. But these are my people. And points to you, Charlotte, and goes, points to you, her, and goes, these are your people too.
Same kind of way that I grew up here.
If what you told me was true, yeah.
I didn't even know I had a home. That's kind of cool.
If what you told me was true, you were maybe 6, 8 years old when you and your family got marooned here. And even though you linked up with a group of people that took care of you in ways, your people didn't last long.
My parents too.
Rahi nods.
This is like a weird type of hurt.
Yeah.
Like a hurt I didn't even know existed. Yeah.
There was one time that you told me a story when you were 12, and it was the first guy that you stabbed, if you wanted me to tell you that story.
Yeah, sure. If it's not too long.
No, no. So there's this guy. He was older, and he was part of the group that you were with at the time. And your parents had been dead. Sorry, they had been gone for like a couple of years at that point. And he said that your family withered away, and he made a joke because it's your last name. And then you stabbed him and you told me you stabbed him like 6 times in the stomach, and you were like 12.
That's cool. I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll run into him?
The guy? No, he's dead.
Oh.
No, he died so fast.
So if you
I didn't bandage him up afterwards?
No, if you stab someone 6 times in the stomach, they die
they die.
away.
They die.
Okay.
And also, like, just be known, don't drink, if you can help it, do not directly drink the well water here, because very good chance it has not been sterilized or blessed by any kind of like nature dryads. This is a bad place.
Okay.
You can get sick. Yes, you're gonna be so fucking helpful.
Try. I give her like a cup of clean water.
Love that shit. God damn. Anything else?
Any tips? Anything we can use to our advantage? Stuff to watch out for besides the well water?
Well, I know the city pretty well. Its name probably is not going to be used that much, but its name was... Let me just make sure I got this correct. Oh, my God. My God, if only I could just remember it. I want to remember so hard.
Roll to remember.
God. He's like a veins popping out of her forehead.
Don't hurt yourself.
God, there's so many NPCs.
Please remember it.
The lore dogs.
Shh,
Rahi,
don't
remember
interrupt her
the
while
lore
she's
dogs.
Rahi, remember
Rahi.
word search.
She's doing a fucking
Remember
like Goku.
word search.
So
history check.
I know the city. So I know the city of. It's called Zurigo. Xirigo.
Xirigo.
Go.
Okay.
Zurigo.
Okay.
I know Zurigo pretty well. It's not going to be called that by a lot of people. A lot of people just call it the North Shore City because the government that was here collapsed, and so the name of the city collapsed as well. And I know the Ziggurat pretty well too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh. Punch.
What? I don't get it. What? What's the significance? What,
Yeah, Rahi, why don't you tell the
why are you
group?
pointing? What's wrong with your finger?
Karen starts nodding in between them.
Rahi, why don't you tell your best friend Mud what happened? Oh.
Grabs you by the shoulders,
Got
Mud.
it.
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Anything
Great.
else?
How do we navigate it? The ziggurat.
The ziggurat. Or is it just up?
Do we just climb up?
So there are internal chambers within it. There are stairways within, but the most direct way to the summit would be just like the external steps that lead up to it.
Ah. Thank you, Rahi.
Anytime.
Crazy idea. No.
No, wait, no, you're not dismissed.
You said the all god, not you, and I pointed to Cora and Jordan. You said the all god cleric was on the beach at night during the ceremony.
Yeah.
Rahi, would there be any significance or anything that we could potentially find if you flew to the ziggurat that night while we occupied him?
Potentially. I don't know what would be in there.
Well, we're looking for... The reason we're here is to kill Ken and rescue him. So, if the ziggurat is the Algard cleric's chambers, then maybe that's where him is being kept.
And I don't want you to get too close because I don't want, if Ken is up there, to shoot you or something. But like stake it out maybe?
Yeah, Mud.
I mean, ow! I scratched my new tattoo. It's fine. What it? I mean, what if somebody goes with her? What if I go with her? Because, they're waiting for the chosen ones on the beach.
They're also waiting for you.
No, my pyre, or the one that would be mine, doesn't look anything like me.
But it resembled
I hold
nature.
up- Yeah, but they said, Cora and Jordan said that they all resemble you guys like a lot. I don't have 4 arms, so I mean her does, but I don't. So
I don't
Was
feel
it
good
the-
about splitting us up
Was
right
it
when
the
we're
f-
meeting this scary guy. Sorry.
And was it the form that you were in during the Battle of the Bards? Is that what it could be resembling?
I
The
didn't
wild
have-
shape?
I don't think I had 4 arms then either.
No, I thought
Did
you
I?
took.
No.
I thought you took. You didn't. No, I thought it took up the form of I thought you were like some monster. that
Scorpion
came out.
tail.
The scorpion tail.
Oh, it was
I
a
think.
scorpion tail. Okay. Oh, it wasn't that.
Above
Okay.
table, did it not look like mud, or am I getting wires crossed?
Yeah, am
I
I getting
mean-
wires crossed?
It had some human features on it,
Uh-huh.
but it was like 4 arms and wings, and
Oh,
it seemed to
okay.
be like several creatures together, as opposed to like one concrete person.
Okay.
Maybe it's like an amalgamation of all of the different things that a druid can be.
Could be that.
Doing the
It
wild shapes and the...
could be that. It could also be like a mixture of Arthur, who has wings,
Hmm.
Prime, if there's any ice or anything involved, AJ.
Or just an amalgamation of druids.
Yeah.
I agree with Kaori, we shouldn't split. But if we want literally a bird's eye view, Rahi could take... Is there a way to navigate ships to get closer to the ziggurats, or would you have to dock somewhere?
I have no idea who you're asking.
Well, Rahi could fly.
Anyone.
Well, Rahi could fly.
Right, I
to
just
it.
I just mean for the sake of not sending her by herself, she could take her crew with her.
Mm.
I guess asking Rahi or Quara Jordan.
Well, we could sail close by to the shores, like of the main street that lead to the ziggurat. We could do that.
Mhm.
We could anchor there, get off with our crews. Problem is that given we're not associated with any kind of faith, if they see us as blasphemers, they might just kill us.
Maybe we don't. Maybe the scouting thing isn't necessary. I was just thinking if the all god cleric was occupied.
Well, it's an excellent thought. I think our friends are safer with us, at least here. But if we're playing nice, then perhaps we don't have to scout the ziggurat. We'll perhaps be able to just go in.
That's true.
Do you think maybe we leave the rest of our friends here while we go in and then come back for them if we make friends with the all god cleric?
Because Quara said if we were to, would our ships be safe out on the sea, or
Here's what I'll say.
raiders-
If
yeah.
you guys dock your ships at the main, right out, like in the ports of Zurigo, basically, you will be protected by the All God flock, and your ships will not be harmed or raided.
and that's the middle point?
That's the middle point. It's like right
Okay.
outside the city.
Yeah. Okay. I think in every sense of the word, our friends are safer with us than on their own.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Can't hear you, Mud.
So are we just gonna are we just gonna set sail and pull up to the beach like, hey, stop burning people alive, thank you so much, we're those
guess.
bitches,
More eloquently than that, but yes.
holla.
And if they don't like us, we can always use that guitar and blow everything away again.
Yeah.
That's like, worst comes to worst. You know, we just kind of nuke the place a little bit.
There's other
Right.
means of doing so.
Are we like going in like 2 hours? Are we gonna make our move then?
Yes, I need to speak with Quara and Jordan really quick, but after that, I think yes, we should get there before the ceremony starts.
I mean, I could consult my horse knucklebone predictors. Sorry, it's a thing, and because I have the spell augury.
Oh,
And I
Horse
could consult the
knucklebones.
bones. They're really big. I could consult the bones and see if like we're doing a good thing or a bad thing, or if there's omens. You know, we could do that, but I don't know how much good it will do us.
I would say save that.
Okay.
I think if we're the safest in the Algot Flux protection, I think we should use that.
Okay. I'm gonna go prepare my spells then.
Okay.
Okay.
Spell preparation, Quora and Jordan. Yeah, Darby, anything else?
Did we want to hear about the island of Trum or not yet?
Oh, I mean, I'm always down.
The Superi description?
I thought you gave us Superi.
No, that was the Boneyard.
No, the one before that.
Wait, did I? Wait.
No?
Or that
not.
was the story.
With the ziggurat.
That was your 3 nat 20s.
Yeah, that was the 3 nat 20.
Oh, okay, so that wasn't even like a description of the city. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was the description of the city.
Oh, that was just a map.
On the map.
On the map, on the map.
So let me know what you want me to do, and I'd be happy to supply.
Maybe on the way, as we're sailing, descriptions?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. DM, is that alright?
Absolutely, no problem.
Alright.
So sorry, I'm just looking for... Did they remove the music that I like? What the heck?
Oh.
No, I'm looking at music right now.
Aww.
Oh.
All right, everybody, put in chat. Is Phil gonna see his shadow?
Is Phil
on
gonna
the
see his
second?
shadow?
Everybody
What's
put
Phil
it in
gonna see?
chat.
What's
Sorry.
Phil gonna see?
What's he gonna see at Gobbler's Knob?
Got distracted. So what's the plan?
I want to go talk to Cora and Jordan.
Quora, Jordan. Okay, then Superi description. Eventually, Darby. Anything else?
Nothing for me.
Okay, got it. Then, as Mud goes to collect his horse bones,
They're huge.
they're giant. They're in a backpack, and he's like, "Where the hell did you get those?
They have runes carved into them.
When did you have the time?"
Back in the Molar Isle, they have a lot of weird things with bones.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Okay, then Quora and Jordan. Olive, the floor is yours. What do you do?
I want to talk to them privately.
Yes, you guys are able to. You know what? Fuck it. You guys hop on one of the. If they invite you onto one of the windsurfing boards, and you guys are able to hit the open waves.
Awesome. I need you to tell me everything you know about Emberly and her worship and her religion.
What?
Can we stop somewhere?
Like a giant wave created as they skirt as they stop, as they are able to begin just kind of like kicking their feet into the water, like they kind of take a knee, start tying down the sail, and they just say, "Apologies, not the vibe. Just a cool thing we've been working on." They strapped the side of the website.
That was really cool. Thank you for inviting me to do this.
Of course, and anytime you want to use it, just go ahead and just take it as long as you bring it back. Umberly looks kindly upon you. The seas will carry it back home.
Great.
Okay, you want to know all there is to know about Umberly's worship?
Yes, because these people think, well, these people think I'm a prophet of Umberly, and while I am her chosen, I don't know anything about how her religion operates, and I'd appreciate any insight to sort of play the part, but also honor it.
Jordan kind of like takes a step back as Quora, kind of like more of an authority on this, steps up and says, "Well, there are two kind of sects that we can discuss, and that would be the more modern interpretation of Umberly, which was what myself, my family, your family, and the Grip Isle practiced before the Battle of Sailor's Pass. But then there's also the ancient text, the more similar to the carpal tunnels and the mortician's chambers and the more historical worship of her. Which would you like to hear about?
Well, the prophet knows all, so everything.
All right. I'll start with the recent then and tell you what I learned when I was a child. Umberlee's worship has shifted as time has gone on. And I'm going to refer to this as if it was more recently, but again, she has not been worshipped publicly for the last 40 years. The Umberlee that I understood was a god of tranquility. The goddess of the deep sea. There was almost a meditative aspect to the faith, where as your skin and muscle and sinew and bone return to the sea once you die, so too for us, as water genasi, do those elements come together to help form the next generation. There's a constance, a rebirth with it. And understanding death by the sea, understanding that the sea is what we shall all return to, allowed for us to have peace of mind. Which is why so much of our culture revolved around under the waves, under the currents, being within the cold stillness where light could not even touch us. It was an acceptance of life through understanding the inevitability of death and the peace that comes along with it. But again, that was the more modern interpretation that was taught by the Water Genasi on the Grip Isle before your time. In the historical texts that I've read, anecdotes and scripture carved into stone tablets, there was also an ancient way of practicing before the modernization of her faith. And for this, I do need to switch the music. My apologies, Moss. Don't go to bed yet. The chambers within the carpal tunnels were older than our faith. Again, the purpose of them shifted as the ideology shifted, as the people shifted. But understanding where we came from, where our faith originated, is a unsettling story, an unsettling anecdote. To some, and rumored to be clerics and warlocks and some sorceresses, they praise Umberlee not through peace or tranquility, but through action. And the god of death at sea is one that would require drastic action. It's rumored that in ancient teachings of Umberlee, this again, anecdotal, when our people first were sea-dwelling creatures, when we were first coming to sentience, first forming our societies, forming our faith, our society was monstrous, where we would capture sailors unlucky to be caught in rough ways, those who would purposefully or accidentally touch the sea and drag them down to Umberlee's domain. And to those that would drown, their souls would become one with the still waters, but those that didn't, there would be ritualistic sacrifice to maintain both power structures as well as infuse warlocks and clerics and sorcerers with a deeper power from Umberlee, as if these sacrifices linked them to the gods even closer. with my and Jordan's current affliction, we seem to have been linked to the more ancient practices.
Do you feel it's not your goddess's will to be practicing the ancient worship?
That's what confuses me. I'm surprised that Umberlee is still a god who can grant such powers to people. Faith is so often determined by those who worship. Gods and their images can change based upon the congregations that are inspired by them. And of course, some gods, like gods of wrath, gods of murder, gods of war, it would be difficult to find interpretations that are more positive, but my home, my family, my tribe, we were peaceful. We refused to sacrifice. We refused the ancient ways. And although the depths of the carpal tunnels was that mortician's chamber, instead of it being a sacrificial altar, we turned it into one where we honor our dead. And so once our people were when our people were executed in the villages, on the beaches, I'm surprised that an ancient way came out and brought us back. She is our goddess, but that was not our faith.
And which practice do you think these people worship?
Of the flock?
Mm-hmm.
The most ancient and barbaric you can find. If I had to give you my own theory, kind of points to people coming out, like, to the shore again, just kind of like black dots moving on the horizon, but like carrying beams of ships and wooden planks, like to begin the construction. Like, again, it's gonna be a several-hour process to get it done. But points and goes, I believe this is just as much about posturing as it is about practice.
A performance.
Aye. If a man can force people to do things like this, even if it is in service of a greater power, none shall refuse him.
Good to know. I promise I will restore your faith to you.
She kind of like, if she may, kind of like puts her hand on like the back of your head and like brings her forehead to yours and says, "Thank you, child. Thank you for having Jordan and I in your thoughts."
Of course. It's the least I can do. Given I'm the one who put you in this situation.
Not entirely sure what you mean by that, but I appreciate the
this
sentiment.
when I went to the carpal tunnels, when I went to my hometown and spoke to the locals, they told me that a couple of years ago they saw me, or a beam of energy shoot out towards Superior Trum. And in the carpal tunnels, I found writing in my handwriting. I believe whatever I was injected with caused me to go to the carpal tunnels, take the weapon, and move it to Superior Trum, or whatever's beneath the boneyard.
Quara kneels down, kind of like sits on the edge of the wind sailor, and kind of like lets one of her legs hang in the sea, and goes, "Come here, child. Come."
I come to her.
Do you sit down?
Yeah.
Legs in water. She kind of like picks up her hand, like shows it to you, and then kind of like gestures and puts her hand in the water.
Put my hand in the water.
A shiver kind of like runs up your arm, because again, it is the sea, it is cold. And as the shiver runs up your arm, kind of like into your chest, there's a sense of calm that comes from it. As she just kind of like drags her fingers back and forth in the waves and says, "You've nothing to apologize for, child. You've been chosen, and you have been fighting for a great many reasons. But if you have been fighting to see if you are worthy of this, there is no need to trouble yourself. The sea is a beautiful living thing. As currents can be violent, and they can be tumultuous and misunderstood. But in the end, if sailors chart their course well, the seas will take them exactly where they need to go. That is faith. And I believe the journey that you have been on, you have been pushed by the currents that she has bestowed upon you. I believe you have done what has been needed to be done, and I believe you will do what is needed to be done."
I will. I know I am worthy.
She looks you right in the face and says, "Then stop apologizing.
When did I apologize?
You just apologized. You said that you were sorry for putting in this situation."
In terms of sympathy for your situation,
Jordan kind of like hops in and goes, "Well, yeah, but like in this situation, like listen, we can speak honest and openly as women right now. We are all Umberlee's chosen in one way or the other. We are exactly where we're supposed to be. We have just been out here and we've been killing raiders and getting information. That helps us. So
Umberlee can have more than one chosen?
as in
Mm-hmm.
different levels of it.
I see.
But you know what I mean."
Yes. I will stop apologizing.
Quar and Jordan begin fixing up the windsurfer. And is there anything else you would like to speak on?
In addition to restoring your faith, I would like to see you return home.
Yes. I've heard of prophets working miracles before.
So long as you're with me, I won't let them hurt you.
Clara doesn't say anything, but you're able to catch a glimpse of like kind of like as she begins to like unfurl the sails. And she kind of like looks down at you, and you're able to detect just the slightest hint of a smirk coming up off of her lips, as you say that.
I help them unfurl and ready the windsurfers.
All right. As they take off back towards the exterminator. Okay. Give me 1 second here. Where is it? Upbeat music. Well, less creepy music. Okay, with that, all of you return back to the exterminator, and again, we are approaching 11 o'clock, so I don't want to. Also, incredible job. Don't want to take up too much more of your guys' time, as I don't want anyone getting to bed too late. So, what do you guys want to do?
I guess next is go.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay. Me too.
Okay.
Got all my spells. Oh, I need to. Okay. I got a thing.
Okay.
Okey-doke.
Go ahead, Mud.
I look up towards the star and I trace out my favorite constellation, and a little like a similar pattern right over my heart glows as I roll for wheel or woe, and I rolled wheel, so I will be able to give as a reaction a d6 to one of my friends' rolls.
Hell yeah.
Okay, killer. Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right, then how about a quick description of Supere, and then I can describe to you guys the effigies that are being constructed, and then if you guys wish to make landfall tonight, you definitely can, but if we want to end off there, we can, okay?
Okay.
All right, got you.
Did you say landfall again?
Yeah.
Landfall. Landfall.
Okay. Then you guys are able to... So we have the Riptide, the Cat 5, the Cornucopia, the Exterminator, and all of your wonderful friends that are on these ships sailing towards, like basically in between the Boneyard and Superior Trum, and beginning to navigate the treacherous waters, as you guys are now only about 200 yards off of the shore of Superi, as you guys are now able to see the larger structures of the ruins of Zirigo and this city of Superi, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me give you a quick description then, as you take it all in. Okay. So it's gonna be okay. Gab, you're gonna be fine. Okay. Picture this. 2 cities of opulence at the center of a vast ocean, ruled by kings and queens stretching back hundreds, if not thousands of years. These cities were mirrors to one another and looked out across Sailor's Pass to gaze longingly at each other. These cities, along with Superi, Trum, and Sailor's Pass, made up a proud kingdom. A kingdom whose true name has now been lost to battle and ruin. A kingdom which is now known as Stalemate. That's the collection, that's all of it together. None of you would know why, but Superi and Trum were never allied with the Palm or the Fist. they were neutral to pirate and slaver alike, never assisting or hindering either side, and were happy to trade in all but slaves. However, their neutrality sparked fury from both sides, with the palm in the fist swearing that they would never sail to their aid, even if the sands, sea, and sky came crashing down upon them. But it wasn't nature that destroyed this ancient kingdom. Rather, it was wood, cloth, gunpowder, and steel. A kingdom stretching back generations with thousands of years of history was undone in just 2 weeks. As the Battle of Sailor's Pass raged on, the pirate and slaver forces had no supply lines. They had no reliable way of supplying their forces with food, medicine, or weaponry. But surrounding the battle, were 2 grand cities watching everything unfold. 2 untouched cities, rich and fat with copious quantities of everything they needed. The pirates of the Palm set their sights on the northern shore, and the slavers of the Fist set their sights on the south. And they did what pirates and slavers do best. They plundered. Now, if you gaze upon the shores of Superi, where villages and port towns once stood, you'll see only sandstone ruins and pathetic scraps of what was 40 years prior. You see, as you sail the coastline, impermanent tents and pitiful dwellings in and around these destroyed structures, with there being no group organized enough to dedicate themselves to reconstruction. The sands of Superi are dry and will not allow for any greenery to grow. So the only way these groups can survive is by scavenging the wastes or plundering, just as their destroyers once did. Here you'll find groups scavenging the ruins of taverns and armories and inns and trading stations, and others plundering supplies from any group foolish enough or unlucky enough to land on their shores. And that is the description of Superi. As you guys are sailing past all of these ruins and small encampments, you're able to see fires lit as you see people kind of stand up. Again, it's miles you have to go to actually get to the main dock area. But you see some groups like look over and they put out their fires and they run like kind of into like the setting. So like as kind of night begins to fall, they run away out of sight of you guys. Others are on their fires, kind of stand up and they pull out swords like they're hungry and waiting for you guys to dock somewhere like close to them if they can come and take your supplies. A hostile and paranoid nation, definitely. Any comments, any thoughts?
No, sir.
Okay. Then you guys are able to continue. It's like, you know, you basically you got into like the eastern area. You're sailing west along the coastline, and you are approaching the shore. We're gonna get to the city description later. I don't want to take up too much time on descriptions, but you guys are approaching the shore again, 200 yards away from you. And you guys are able to watch as these effigies have been constructed. And actually, I need everyone here to give me a perception check. Guidance.
Nat 20.
Nat 20?
Yeah.
Awesome.
14.
14?
21.
21? Moss, you are muted, I believe.
30.
Yo.
All right.
I have a plus 11 perception. I rolled an 18 and then a 1 on the guidance, so.
Y'all remember that you all have spy glasses and you're all able to see everything perfectly. That's nuts. 4 large statues made out of wood and tinder scavenged from nearby shipwrecks. And 1 simple offering pit. These statues are between 12 and 15 feet tall, and they're all roughly constructed to look like people, similar to like a crude wicker man. At the center of these structures, you're each able to see that each of these, except for the offering pit, which we'll get to in a little bit later, each of these statues has crude stairs built to the center, like the torso, with a door leading inside of the statue. You're muted.
Say that again.
So 12 to 15 feet tall, these statues are. And at the base, like again, at like, you guys are able to see it. So like walking away from the shore, there are stairs leading up to the chests, like the torsos of these statues. And there's a door like for someone to walk in.
And the statues are only 12 to 15 feet tall.
That's big. That's
very tall.
still huge.
It's like a Trojan horse.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Like, you think about like your ceilings and how tall your room
Okay.
is.
They're
Like,
also
I got
like
it.
wide, like these things are like
okay.
they're wide based and they're like 15 feet tall. Imagine me now. Imagine two of me, and then imagine another half of me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's huge.
2.5 Drews.
Yeah.
2.5 Drews.
Coming
Okay.
to CBS.
I was just about to say.
This fall.
And I'm gonna do that. And so at this point, if you guys want to like, and do you guys want to get there before these things are lit on fire?
Yes.
That's not me. I'm not telling you.
Yes.
I'm just asking.
Yes. No.
Yes.
So.
There seems to be resistance.
I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know. Part of me wants to wait until dusk, but then we might kill somebody.
We will kill somebody.
We will kill somebody.
Okay,
We
so
will,
then...
we will kill 4 people.
But does the All God Cleric expect us to show up at night?
He just he expects us to show up at some. He's been doing this, expecting us to show up.
Okay.
So.
Okay. We can go whenever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her's like, no, I want to see him burn.
I mean, they settled us up. Let me see.
So I
Yeah.
do need an answer. Are you going before? Are you gonna make landfall before they burn or after they burn?
Before they burn.
Before.
Yes, before.
Yes. Before.
Okay, before. Got it. Then I'm gonna say that we then are able to transition to you guys in a row. And is it just you guys or your friends as well? Who's coming with you? AJ's in the boat, but we'll get to that later.
But there's no effigy for AJ?
Not a statue. Well, I haven't described the statues yet, but we'll get into it.
Okay. AJ
Should,
wasn't with us with Battle of the Bard.
should Rahi come with us?
I don't know.
Maybe we
Daddy.
leave them. Maybe we leave our friends like on the boats, but the boats
yeah.
are still like in our fleet. So we're like,
Yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
are our people.
These
These
Yes.
are our
Don't fuck with
yeah.
them.
That,
Yeah.
or we could even be like, these are my followers who believe in us.
Oh,
Yeah.
Into it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And also, by the way, Gab, does her have the Dream Carver?
I do.
Excellent. Good. Just wanted to make sure.
Ooh,
Should I be wielding it, everybody?
I think
What
so.
is the Dream Carver again?
That was Charlotte's sword.
It's a pirate cutlass that gives her advantage on persuasion checks for the people of Superior Trum.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll be wielding
Yes.
it.
You should be
Yeah.
having that. I'm also going to cast Enhance Ability on Olive, and I'm going to give her advantage
Ooh.
on Charisma checks.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm gonna go in order of your guys' rolls here. So Olive got a nat 20, Mud got a 30, Darby got a 14. What did her get?
21.
21. Okay, got it. So I'll do Olive, Mud, her, and then Cowrie. Olive.
Mhm.
The first effigy that you see is covered in clothing made of moss and smooth sea rocks. To mimic hair, the creators have sewed seaweed together into a makeshift wig that is flowing down past their shoulders. There's a crude circle of metal placed atop this figure's forehead, and it holds an object in both hands. In one hand, there is a scrapyard weapon made of like 3 bent long swords grafted into one long fused piece of driftwood. And in the other, you're able to see a cannon shoved into their hand. So it's a cannon in one hand, and then it's like this like weird staff with 3 prongs on it in the other. And you realize how recently that like these depictions of, you're able to recognize this is obviously for you.
Yeah.
But the cannon in the hand is interesting because it's pointing out of like the top, like the thumb and the finger area. It almost looks like a revolver. Mud. You are able to see the same effigy that was written out before, like the wings and the arms, and it's kind of like growing out of a tree. But with a 30, given you already know what you're looking for, you're able to look past the effigies. And you are able to realize that on this shore, kind of giving space before the effigies, you're able to see congregations of people. I'm going to say right now that you're able to estimate there are probably 2,000 people on the beach right now watching the ceremony. And from the looks of it coming down the main road, there are easily hundreds, if not thousands, more to come as well. This is a massive, massive organization of people. And you thought the army at Balar Fortress was powerful. Any questions?
Can I see the people who are going to be burned?
With a 30? Hold on. At the front,
Yes, dear.
being guarded by different factions, like different religious clothing. We'll get into that in a little bit. But like, it seems like there are 5 different religious factions that are taking care of like these like prisoners who all have their hands bound. They have their hands bound like behind their backs, and they have their like mouths gagged as well. And I can actually go ahead and roll me a D. Go ahead and roll me a D6 and re-roll on 6s.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. I'll do this one. 4.
4? Goddamn. You are able to notice, like, again, you scan these prisoners, and one of them stands out to you because all of these prisoners have religious iconography on them, like they are priests of something. However, one of the prisoners stands out because it's a figure that doesn't have any identifiable religious markings on them whatsoever. This figure is wrapped in blue cloth from head to toe with free hands. Their hands are not bound. This figure seems to be of some religious order, but doesn't have any like iconography on them. However, this person's guards seem to be of the same faction that this person is of. So, like, they differ in body type, but there are 3 other guards, like, escorting this, like, one selected individual. And one of them is a bit shorter. One of them is, like, moderate build. One of them is taller and bulkier. One of them is shorter and, like much smaller. And the figure that is, like, standing in front of all of them, like, as a sacrifice, looks weird as hell. Like, 6'2", thin, with, like, a distended gut, is kind of, like, standing in, like, a hunched kind of way. It looks very odd. And as these prisoners begin to be escorted forward, while all of the other ones have to be grabbed and kind of like dragged forward, this figure is not being pushed against their will and is approaching the pyre willingly.
Which pyre are they approaching?
They're approaching yours.
Can I do like a religion check on this?
Go right ahead.
Like,
Absolutely.
Figure out what it is, what's going on. Oh, okay. 15.
With a 15, this effigy, with all the information that you guys have learned across your journey, it is a pyre dedicated in worship to some god of nature. And what god of nature is important to the overall story of this game? The god Sylvanus, the god of growth, the god of fertility, the god of the god of forest, the god of swamps. And as you, the 15, as you look to this figure with no iconography on them, you think about what god would be in opposition to growth and life and greenery. And with a 15, it's probably not the one that you're thinking of because there are many of them, but it has to be some kind of god of death.
So they're sacrificing the opposite religions to...
Yeah, they said, look upon our offerings, we sacrifice those who oppose you.
Continuing forward. Yeah, no, what's up?
I'm gonna write that down.
Okay. Continuing on. Her. 12 to 15 feet tall, this pyre. You see black wool, gray cloth, and yellow paint detail. It makes a striking image for this figure. This figure has black wool balled up and placed all over it, with streaks of yellow paint connecting these puffs of cloth with zigzagging lines. Gray cloth has been wired, like, essentially, I had to make sure I didn't misspell something, has been, like, shaped to resemble wires shooting out of this figure's hands. But where this figure's right eye would be, like where this, like, construction would be, there are several barrels, like, nailed together to make a long cylinder. And at the end, away from, like, the eyes, like, imagine, so it's like this figure, these, like, wires exploding off of their fingers, and in one eye, there's, like, a cylinder coming off of it. And at the end of this, like, cylinder, there's some kind of glass that is fit to the barrel's circumference, causing light to be reflected off of it. Okay? I might get an artist rendition of this because this is very specific. It might be a little bit difficult to understand. Then, Cowrie, the fourth figure in the line, the fourth effigy, the fourth pyre, all manner of offerings have been attached to this figure. Weapons and gold and clothing and food. There's no one consistent theme to any of it. This figure wears a cloak made of sea glass, so it reflects light and shines even at night, with orange torches burning all around it to illuminate the crowds. Laying against this figure is a rowboat with a sailboat mast carpentered into it, with rope tied to the top of the mast and stretching down to the center of the rowboat. I will draw some pictures of this, but it all makes sense when I show you.
Okay.
And then there is the offering pit. Very simple, similar to a grave, with a small, quickly constructed metal effigy overlooking it. This metal effigy is made of scrap metal and wire and is probably only 3 feet tall. Resting up against this wire effigy is a simple mace, just a regular mace. But in the offering pit in front of this wire effigy, you're able to watch as members of all different religious orders are dumping wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow of scrap metal and weaponry. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this point, you guys are getting pretty close to the shore. Any comments or questions on anything I just described?
What was the rowboat at the bottom of Carrie's statue?
So it's a rowboat on its... Okay, so there's a rowboat on its side.
Uh-huh.
And there's a... Okay, wait, here. Let me get my handy-dandy little drawing tool.
Little drawing tool.
And
Is it meant to look like a lute?
He's smiling.
That is exactly right.
And then
Oh.
offer pit. What was it? There's like a metal effigy over top of it?
It's almost like that one was the most recent addition, and they haven't quite figured out the design yet.
Okay.
And
If-
what's up?
If the All God Cleric is getting like visions or has some sort of like foreknowledge of us, and AJ has been like nowhere for a while, and now all of a sudden he's back again, and he's
Yeah.
this thing that doesn't make sense. They haven't had time to build a great big effigy.
Yeah.
And this is the one that is...
That's hers?
This is hers, yeah.
Yeah, what's the cylinder?
Is it
that
like a
s-
spyglass?
Yeah, like a spyglass?
I
Or
don't have a spyglass.
So with that, it's 11:11.
make a wish.
It's 11, make a wish. We can call it there, or we can keep going. I know people need to go to bed to go to work, and so we can leave the next description for next time if you guys would like. I'll leave it up to the majority.
I'm pretty eepy, I'm not gonna lie.
Pretty eepy, not a problem. Then, as the prisoners begin to be escorted forward, you guys are able to watch as each of these prisoners is wearing different religious iconography. And without describing them thoroughly, you guys are able to hear off in the distance as these prisoners are beginning to be escorted forward. You are able to hear a figure with a lot of mass wearing metal armor can be heard walking down the main streets through the crowd, approaching the effigies. And you all understand that the All God Cleric is approaching the pyres that you guys are sailing towards. And at the beginning of next session, before these pyres are lit, you will not only see the prisoners, you will not only see the factions that are pressing these prisoners on, but you will also meet the All God Cleric himself. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Damn.
Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we all had a good time.
Sheesh. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
yes. All right. There is Big Eepy, and so we're going to be signing off pretty quickly here, but I hope everyone had a good time. Thank you all for sticking around and doing this. You guys are wonderful players, and I hope all the lore was not boring. I hope this is all good
Not at
little
all.
details, and I cannot wait to see how you guys handle all of the trials and tribulations to come, so thank you.
Woo.
Thank you.
Cannot wait.
All right. Much love, guys. Thank you, everybody, for coming to the table. Anyone that rated, we deeply appreciate you being here. As always, Jason, McClover, you guys rock. And we'll be catching you guys next time. So, y'all have a nice night, and much love, guys. Peace out.
Happy Groundhog Day.
Have a great night.
Happy Groundhog Day.
Praise
There you go.
Phil.